So I didn't mention so far, but you probably noticed we were more than 5 people. We had great volunteers today that helped us make this possible. So I want to do another round of thank you and claps. I want to thank you, the speakers, the sponsors. Once again, you can still meet them, at the entrance. I want now to open a quick parenthesis of how we got here, what the story behind this, why it's the whole new, all different JeffConf. And I would like to have Stanley on stage from ServerlessDays London. Please, Anne.
So I've known for about 20 hours I was going to speak today. Thanks, Alex. You mentioned it to me last night. Really brief history of how we all got here. So last year, I think June, July, there was supposed to be a conference in Amsterdam that got cancelled in May. There was supposed to be a serverless conference in Amsterdam. It was the only serverless conference in Europe. So a couple of us who are regular attendees at the Serverless London user group, which I run, said, well, let's do something in London, do something in Europe. So we decided, put up a website with potentially one of the world's worst websites, with my own homegrown single-page app framework that I wrote over a week in Scotland while drinking whiskey. So put a website up, sold a whole bunch of tickets, and in 6 weeks we ran a conference with about 180 people, or 180 tickets sold, 150 people attended. Alex and Simeone joined us. And then during the conference, Alex said, oh, he wants to do this in Italy and do it here. So, a few months later, JeffConf happened in Milan in, September, end of September?
September 29th.
September 29th. He had a few more, about a month longer to organize it. And then one of the speakers at JeffConf Milan, Sunka, decided he wanted to run one in Hamburg. So then we had JeffConf Hamburg. Accidentally, we created a conference series, and accidental is kind of the best way to describe it. We realized that, okay, so we now got this accidental conference series, and maybe there's something in it, these small single-track events. So, okay, well, maybe there are other people in the world who want to run them as well, and how can we help them? We also thought, well, the name JeffConf, while it was fun, it was based on a joke. There was a blog post around the word serverless saying we could have called it anything. You might as well have called it Jeff. It's not very representative because it's not really a conference for Jeffs, it's a conference for everyone. So we decided to change the name and actually give it a name that people will actually understand, because trying to explain JeffConf to people saying it's a serverless conference, and you still end up explaining serverless anyway. So we decided to rebrand it, and our MVP for ServerlessDays was another dodgy website that at least I created without drinking whiskey this time, so slightly better. And basically a Google shared drive with all of our shared docs between Italy, Hamburg, Milan, Hamburg, and London. And those docs are like contracts, sponsor prospectuses, and then a Slack channel. Those are the 3 things. So it took us about a week kind of to get going. And we just put a few tweets out about it. And then next thing we know, it's kind of taken off. So as of this year, this is the 7th Serverless Days that's been run in the world this year. The first was Tel Aviv. So Adam, who spoke earlier, is one of the organizers of Tel Aviv. I think some of the Zurich organizers are here. There's another 2 more this year. We have 5 scheduled for next year that have dates with venues confirmed. We have...
Look at that.
Yeah. So it keeps going. We've got the Slack channel where we keep going with, like myself and Alex are essentially responsible for onboarding new ServerlessConf, ServerlessConf, that's something else. ServerlessDays, we won't talk about ServerlessConf. We're way cooler. Onboarding new organizers, and yeah, basically we have over 30 organizers in some state of organizing. Some are just asking what does it take, and others are, we found a venue, we're getting sponsors, can you introduce us to people? And it's various levels. But we're growing the serverless community, and that's the whole point. The most expensive conference in any of these is $50. Most are around 30, 35 euros, 30 pounds, around there, and that's for accessibility. And that's one of our key tenets. We want to grow this community. Financial accessibility is incredibly important. If you have to spend $600, $800 to go to a conference, you're only going to go if someone else is paying. Whereas for us, it's about, you want to learn, you want to advance yourself, make it possible and put it at a financial point where you can actually do that yourself. And that's the other things, like we have requirements around code of conduct. We want it to be a safe space for everyone. We want people to feel welcome and part of this. We try and enforce rules around no pitching, real world use cases. So, this is a conference to build a community, and the whole series is about building the community. And I think we're slowly succeeding. A lot of things we've gotten wrong, probably more things wrong than right. We're slowly getting there. We've got to put more make it a bit more formal, A website and a Google Drive doesn't quite work. It doesn't scale to a certain extent. Actually, put some more formality around it. Alex and I, unfortunately, don't scale. We spend our lives reminding each other about calls that we're supposed to be on, and then we spend our lives in apologizing for not being on the calls that we're supposed to be on. Normally one of us
really
makes
good
it.
at that.
Yes, we're very good at it. We just apologize to each other. Alex is almost becoming English with the amount of times he apologizes. I am technically, no, I'm not, I'm South African. I'll never be English, ignore my passport. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you to Alex. Thank you to Simeone. Because he just appears at every Jeff Conf and Serverless Days. Like, you don't know he's coming, and appears out of nowhere, and he's helping. He's great. And thank you to the team. Like, this doesn't happen without volunteers. It doesn't happen without you, like, giving it a chance and say, hey, let's come down and learn about something new. So thank you, and hopefully it becomes bigger, better, and we grow this thing that we're trying to do. So,
thank you, Anne.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.